What's up guys, Andrew here from Motive DVD. We're at the Liqui Moly Bathurst 12 hour. It's one of the biggest and best motorsport events on the planet, an iconic track, Mount Panorama. We're here with Hobson Motorsport this weekend. Our team from Motive DVD are going to be following them all weekend. We're going to be doing a documentary on what they're up to. But we're in their pit garage right now. There's two R35 Nismo GTR GT3 cars here competing. We're going to catch up with the team owner now, Brett. He's going to show us around the cars, give us a look, so you guys can check out R35 GT3s, because these things are pretty mental. All right, let's get to it. Brett, how are you, mate?
Morning, how you going, Andrew?
I know it's a bit noisy, but everyone can hear you. So these are obviously your two new GT3 cars. Everyone's going to ask straight away, how much of them's factory and how much of them is modified and how modified? So let's show them around.
Yeah, well, as I said, good morning, guys. As Andrew said, we're here at the Liqui Moly Bathurst 12 hour for 2017. We've got our new purchases here for the year. We're running our new Nismo GT3 cars. So look, they're a fair bit off factory, but let's walk around and take a look, and I'll show you what they're all about.
Well, let's start with the body. So they're obviously still a GTR body, so they're not something that's sort of custom made or anything.
Yeah.
But why don't we start with the engine? Let's take a look at the engine and talk about what's changed.
The engine itself is basically one of the most relatable items to the car. They don't really change too much, from what I understand. They do have maybe I think some different internals, but other than that, the engine themselves is pretty much the same as a road car. We have a guy here that's from the UK. He sits down the back and just constantly tunes them the whole time. So they're pretty awesome bits of machinery to be able to use, basically nearly the standard road car motor in a GT3 spec car like this.
Now, obviously transmissions change though, they're not four-wheel drive anymore?
No, they're not four-wheel drive. They have a transaxle setup. So yeah, they're only rear-wheel drive. Basically, they have the still traction control, traction control, ABS, all those kind of lurks and perks, but they're not four-wheel drive, which is a bit of a shame. But obviously, if you've got four wheels turning, you're robbing some horsepower out of the motor too. So that's why they're so good in a straight line.
Now, obviously, aero is pretty crazy. Let's have a bit of a look over it.
Yeah, look, as you can see, they've got a big front splitter on them that actually move basically coming out a long way from the front of the car. You can basically stand on these. They're very, very solid. Got some massive dive planes here. They're basically for your front aero.
And they're flat floor as well, aren't they?
Full flat floor.
Can we show the people or what? Let's have a look.
You should be able to try and get underneath there and have a bit of a look.
As you can see, totally flat floor, which obviously for aerodynamics is a huge improvement to the rear diffuser and the front splitter and the front diffuser built in here. So a lot of difference. Intercoolers look, well, pretty factory.
Yeah, the intercoolers are pretty factory, yeah.
And obviously we've got cooling an oil cooler duct in the top. Obviously my air intake's in the middle here, and then intercooler in the bottom. And obviously this oil cooler's a bit different up here. So they are pretty different from what a normal GTR layout is, sort of cooling wise.
Yeah.
What about brakes?
Brakes? Well, as you can see here, the guys are actually getting ready for qualifying, so they're throwing some brand new rotors and pads in it. They run a different Brembo front brake, but they're running a factory Nissan Brembo back brake.
Check it out. So factory rear.
Factory rear, yeah. Factory rear caliper.
So these guys will want to see some of this. You can see the side skirts here. Obviously try and pull out the hot air from the exhaust, which runs down here. And you can see all the aero inside the guard. Obviously trying to get all the air out from inside the guard, as obviously high pressure can build up in here, which causes front end lift. Suspension is, well, if you have a look, there's a different sway bar that they use, obviously adjustable blade type sway bar. The top control arm's quite different to factory, and obviously they use a different upright, so that's fairly different. All the brake cooling ducts and lots of carbon fibre goodness. What about inside? Can we get in there or what?
Yeah, let's duck around and have a look. Actually, we might cut through so we can have a look in the driver's seat. come around this side. So this is the inside of the Nissan GT3. As you can see, paddle shift. You do have to use the clutch to take off. Once you're basically off and going, you don't use the clutch at all, and it's all done with the paddles.
So check that out, guys. If you're wondering, a GT3 car does actually have a clutch, unlike the normal road car. But obviously, once you're moving, it's all air shifted transmission, so therefore paddle shift. Motec dash, Motec's Australian. That's always good.
Definitely 100%. If you can see over there, we've got all our different traction control settings, engine map, which we will change during the race. It's got traction control, ABS settings, and there's a lot of buttons in there that I still don't really know what they do. So I'm trying to work out as we go, as I haven't had a lot of time in the car since we've had them either. But they are a pretty cool bit of kit. We've had to retrofit a cool box in them for this weekend. If we turn over to this car just here, there is a big cool box that sits in this section that we've had to retrofit in, and this is how you fill it up with a dry ice while you're on the run.
So dry ice used to keep you guys cool in there?
Yeah, and it pumps through some hoses that are attached to a vest that we wear, and that's what keeps us nice and cool throughout the race. And also we have some air ducting for our helmets to blow some cool air into our helmets and things like that.
Well, here you go, guys. Not very often you get the chance to have a proper look through a GT3 car, but as you can see, lots of carbon, lots of electronics, cooling system for the drivers. It's a serious piece of office, and they're noisy. Yeah. Now here's the best part, guys. Here's our onboard camera mounts. We're going to be getting you guys onboard footage from Bathurst this weekend. We're doing a full documentary following the Hodgson Motorsport team. You'll be able to check that out on the Motive DVD YouTube channel in about a week's time. So should be pretty good to show you guys behind the scenes, some onboards. But the most important question, Brett, what do they like to drive?
They're pretty cool bits of kit. As I said again, we're just trying to get some time in the car, trying to learn it. The aero itself is just absolutely unreal. So that's my main thing, is coming from a V8 supercar background, is getting used to the aero and how much you can actually push the car into a corner. And the harder you push it, the better the car feels. So, and we've kind of gone from running basically, one would say, little cheese cutter tyres to some big massive wide ones down there, down the back.
Let's take a look.
So yeah, the tyres themselves, they're actually not unlike a lot of GT cars. They run a smaller front tyre and a bigger rear. The Nissan Nismo GT3 runs the same tyres all the way around. Basically the same kind of thing as what a supercar is. They run the same size tyres all the way around too, but these are just a lot bigger.
Check it out. Nismo and Ray's working together as usual for the GTR. I think that's why you're not even allowed to own a GTR without Ray's wheels on it anymore. But let's have a look at some of this rear aero. Obviously the wing is a bit more serious than a V8 supercar.
Yeah, the rear wings on these cars are huge, absolutely humongous. They're a lot higher than the roof. As you can see, they run the wing very, very flat. This is such a huge wing that there's no need to use that much. So it does hang out a lot further, a lot past the side of the car, and it is very, very high. So the rear wing doesn't really get that much of a workout as such. It's run very, very flat. The underneath of the car, again, you'll be able to see the flat floor and the rear diffusers and things like that. These are a high wear item, and we are scrubbing them out a lot. So it's a bit of a pain in the backside to keep pulling out carbon fibre pieces to put on a car. But so we've got the refuelers also kind of coming in, trying to get everything ready for launch point. We'll lift the rear hatch off the roof so you can have a look in there and see what it looks like. See, it's not like your normal GTR where you can lift up the rear boot and put your clothes or whatever you're going to carry around in there. It's a carbon fibre rear boot lid. Basically, all the back of the car's all carbon fibre. The only thing that is not is the actual chassis, the shell of the car. Everything around it is carbon fibre. Unlike a lot of GT cars, the actual roll cage is welded into this chassis. From what I can understand, a Lamborghini and stuff like that, they're all bolted in. A lot of GT cars have roll cages all bolted in. So this is a purebred built race car. They're just a really, really good put together motor vehicle. They run everything around this car is built around a race car. Even just things like ducting in the back to try and get rid of the air off the flat floor between the car and the flat floor. They've really kind of thought everything up. Underneath there, you can see a carbon fibre hatch. If we pull that off, it'll expose the whole transaxle and everything like that to make it nice and easy to get to.
So I guess the big question is what's the plan for qualifying?
Just go out there and have a go, I guess. We're going to put the other two guys in the car for the first session just to get them more laps to try and get them more comfortable. And then I'll jump in and hopefully have a go with some softer tyres. I haven't been in the car yet on soft, brand new tyres and with a light fuel load. So all weekend all I've done is hard tyres, full tank of fuel. So it'll be good to get in the car in kind of a bit of a qualifying trim. Again, I haven't had a lot of time in the car, so we'll just build up to it. Try and keep it off the fence, but go as fast as we can.
Good luck, Brett.
Thank you.
We're going to give these guys one more quick look around the car before we disappear and you can get into qualifying.
By all means, mate, show them.
Here's another look inside, guys. As you can see, pretty serious cage. The net is there to protect the driver. You've got engine maps, traction control maps, ABS maps, Motec dash, obviously Motec ECU. You can see down here for cams and FIA, they need to have everything logged so they can keep it all as a control sort of unit. Check out the front brakes. See that obviously a different upright, different top control arm. You can see the coilover has logging on it as well. You can see the transponder in there. Underneath though, look at that. Factory steering arm, factory lower control arm. A lot of people don't realise there's still plenty of factory parts in here. You can see all the brake ducting up the front. And obviously lots of ducting inside the wheel arch to help all the air escape so you don't get a build-up of high pressure in here and create front-end lift. And you can also obviously under here see the diffuser section of the front splitter. Now for those wondering, it's still pretty much not far off being a factory VR38 in these. There's a restrictor in the turbo. If you have a look at this, this is actually put on by CAMS or FIA to show that the turbo hasn't been tampered with, and there is a restrictor right in there. It obviously limits the power, although they're heavy cars, so GTRs get away with a bit more power than the other cars to help fight back for the weight. The oil cooler is here, and if you have a look, air comes in through next to the GTR badge, air in through here, through the oil cooler, and then comes out the bonnet. So there's ducts here for the air intake and obviously ducts for the intercooler, and you can see how big that splitter is. So in case you're wondering how this all works, Hobson Motorsport own the two cars. They were brought over from America. But this weekend, Always Evolving is obviously the naming rights sponsor of this car, the 66 car. There's two American drivers, Fordad and Davis, and obviously Brett Hobson's driving it as well. And then the Hobson Motorsport sister car, the R35. It's all got different drivers, Flack, Bilski, and obviously Chris Pither. Very talented driver in V8 Supercars and other series in Australia. And we've also got Wall Racing, who are helping with it all as well. You can see some corner waiting happening at the moment. And check this out. Bit of a shameless self-promotion right there. Now for those that missed out on seeing this before, here's your driver's seat. And for those who missed it, rear brake calipers are actually factory. Now if you have a look at the suspension in the back, a lot of it's factory control arms, obviously different coilovers, a blade adjustable sway bar in the back, Öhlins coilovers, you can see they've got logging for the dampers as well. They've obviously got all the brake cooling ducts back here. And just like at the front, they need to get all the air out of the wheel arch, and that's where it escapes back out through the rear bar. You can see the engineers obviously looking away at data. And obviously all the information they need, weather systems, lap times, what's happening on track. Well, there you have it, guys. That's our tour of the Hobson Motorsport Pit Wall Racing. We're running the team here at the Liqui Moly Bathurst 12 Hour. We'll be back later today to do another live stream of the Nismo Garage and also the new Nismo GTR that's on the Nismo stand. You'll be able to see both of these cars at the GTR Festival on the 3rd of June. If you haven't heard of it, head to the Motive DVD website or Facebook page. There's an event page for the GTR Festival. These cars are going to be there. We're also trying to convince them to come to Power Cruise. So if you want to see the guys from Hobson Motorsport bring these cars out, do a non-race event, have some fun, make sure you jump onto the Hobson Motorsport Facebook page, tell them like, come to Power Cruise. Let's have some fun with these cars rather than having locked up behind some barriers. So there it is, tour of the Hobson Motorsport Garage here at the Liqui Moly Bathurst 12 Hour. I'm Andrew from Motive DVD. We'll be back later on today with some more live streams. Peace out.